back for another season. And Thurm, we are here.
We were just
Summer is over.
It's here.
We're ready to roll.
We were just talking before we came on the air. Do you think this game Monday night would be a bigger win for Buffalo or for the Jets?
Oh, it's
So hands up for us.
for us.
I think it's a bigger win for us, don't you?
I think it's a bigger win for us.
Why do you think so?
Walking into New York on 9/11 against the Jets and Aaron
You
Rodgers.
don't think the Jets
After
are going to
being
walk
Jets?
out of that?
Oh.
If they win that game, they're not walking out going, "See, we're legit. We're legit."
No.
They're going to be waving their flags.
Yeah.
You want to see overreaction
Yeah,
Tuesday?
That's different. That's
How is it
like
different?
see, we told you so. If the Bills walk in there and thump those guys, it's like the record player. Everything's
Now,
like
but
after
but
being
you're
off
still
the
talking
radar,
Jets.
off the radar.
That's still
No, I'm talking about the Bills. They were off the radar. They looked like crud at the end of last season. Nobody's going to be good. Josh Allen,
Yeah.
Josh
Diggs, all this
Diggs
stuff.
wants out.
Yeah.
The coach can't win the big. The whole thing
Okay.
gets blown out of the water walking in there and beating them.
I'll
After
tell you
being
what, Monday, Tuesday morning, I'll go to the gas station. I guarantee you at least 5 people will say, "We're going to the Super Bowl, baby." That's
right.
That's how it will be. You know it, Brownie.
That's true.
All right.
That works both ways.
There is validity to that. There is validity.
But I'm
to
telling
that.
you,
but
I
I
think
think
it
it cuts
might
both
be-
ways because I got 2 high school buddies that are big-time Jets fans.
Right.
And, I mean, it is just, okay already, enough. And then if I don't even, just for me personally, I'm going to be a little selfish here. I really need the Bills to win because I don't need to hear it on my text string
I get
with
it.
my high school buddies like, "Told you, man, we're the real deal. We're coming. We're coming."
All right. Like, if you know that's going to happen, here's what I want you to do. If the Bills do win that game, I want you to throw it back in their face. I mean, all over it. Like, say, you guys are a joke. You are the. Let me just remind you
Same
guys.
old Jets.
Jets, Jets. That's who
And then,
you are.
and then it won't
right
be
there.
It won't be any relax. No, this is New York. We're not going to
Panic button.
relax. Exactly.
Oh, and how about this?
You need to explain. This is not Green Bay. This is not some little where you're holding your press conference in the corner of a locker room. No, this is
Yes.
mainstream
Every day.
media every day.
Yeah, well, you know. And
But it's
here-
gonna be 17,
And here's the other
13.
thing. You guys have played in New York enough to know that if it is a big game and there are big stakes involved, which I think we can agree this game is that, if you go into that stadium and you get up 10-0, 14-0 on that New York opponent, you can turn those fans on their own team real fast,
Oh,
right?
they're happiest when they're booing the Jets.
But
They thrive on it.
You guys did that. So, I mean, you've
Oh,
done
yeah.
that. You've seen New York fans turn on their own team, right?
But I also, I've seen that too. But I also think if we do get up 10 or 14, are we going to continue to throw the football? I mean,
If we
let's if we need to.
You
But
are
I think
playing Aaron Rodgers.
we need to run the football to take some time off the clock. And let me tell you, I mean, this
what they did
Jets,
last
this
year.
Jets defense is supposedly be, all that, which I think it could be. I don't know, but
I had to look at the clock.
Okay.
I had to look at the clock. Thurman went on the air at 1:34 here on One Bills Live. We're at 1:39, and it happened. We should have laid odds on this, Steve. When was Thurman going to first say the Bills have to run the football? Took 5 minutes.
I've been thinking about it for 3 days. What are you talking about?
I mean, I knew we were going to get it. I just didn't know when we were going to. 5 minutes. There we are. Got to run the football.
Yeah.
I could,
You're right.
You know what?
You're right.
Probably 2 minutes ago, I could have said it earlier, but I just held back a little bit.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I expect nothing less from you, Thurman. Nothing less.
Yeah.
Why don't we jump into your wheelhouse a little bit, because we obviously know we got the Cook brothers in this game, Dalvin and James.
Yep.
We also have a Breece Hall that Bills fans didn't even see last year because he was out for the season before the Bills even played the Jets once, let alone twice.
He was playing well, too.
He was on pace to be
gonna the
offensive rookie of the year.
He was going to be the rookie of the year.
So, and now he's coming off a major knee injury, as we know. I think a lot of us are expecting him to be eased back in this week. And when you have a guy like Dalvin Cook, why are you going to put the load on Breece Hall when you don't need to?
You don't need to.
And I realize every case is different. But coming back from a major knee injury like that as a running back, it doesn't just all fall back into place right away, right?
No, it will not fall back to play because he hasn't had that contact.
Yeah.
I mean, being in a real live. I mean, training camp is training camp. Yeah, you get hit around a little bit, but being in a live game, being able to know if you're going to make this cut and
Yeah.
that knee is going to be stable and it's going to be
Hold
okay,
up, yeah.
it's going to hold up. Yeah, that'll give you a confidence. But it's when you make that cut, when you have to. I can't remember if it's left knee or it's right
Yeah,
knee.
I'm trying to remember myself.
I hurt my knee my sophomore going into my junior year, and it took me almost a full year to be able to get into the fact that my knee was going to be
Yeah,
okay.
got over the mental hurdle.
Got over. It took me a whole year.
Yeah.
A whole year. Come back spring ball. It was my senior year. I just said, you know what? I gotta go back to where I was. Not being tentative and just going back to being just a flat out cutback runner, all that. And I did it in the spring game. And
But that took you a whole year to
took me
get
a
back
whole
to
year,
that
whole year, to
that player.
to that spring. It was the spring game, last game of the season. Made a cut, ran in for a touchdown. Looking back at my offensive players and my coaches, they were like doing like this right here, and I had no idea what happened. So we went and watched the film that night, and I made a cut like I had never ever
Been
hurt before. in
They were
my
all
knee.
excited because there's the old Thurman.
There's the old Thurman, right?
Yeah,
and
okay.
So yeah, after that,
And
it
Barry's
was
sitting over there going, God darn it.
right. Why did he have to make that cut, right? Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, it
have
is
to
a
wait
mental
another
hurdle
year
to
to
get
play.
over. Yeah, it is a mental hurdle to get over. But I think, like you said, with having Dalvin Cook there, having Aaron Rodgers there, Garrett Wilson, all these guys, offense that could put up some points because they had a potential to do that. But yeah, I think the Dalvin Cook, like the Jets' offensive line, I don't think they're that great.
Well, they're still putting it together.
They're still putting it together.
And the edges are question marks. You got a 38-year-old Dwayne Brown,
Yep.
who was on PUP for most of training camp, missed most of the preseason. He's your starting left tackle. Basically, the Jets are saying this guy that we had on PUP for a month and a half and barely played in the preseason, that's the best that we can put out there for Aaron Rodgers' blind side. 38-year-old Dwayne Brown, who, no knock on Dwayne Brown, he's had a great career.
Yeah.
But I think
he
we
was
could-
he was
I
an
think we
elite
can all
player.
agree
Yes.
he's not what he used to be.
Dwayne Brown was an elite player at his peak, no question. But on the other side, you've got Mekhi Becton,
Who's a great story, but
who up until this year was a
Great
punchline.
story,
He was a
right.
punchline.
he hasn't played for 2 years. Regular season football. That's an adjustment, right?
and
Man, I
I'll
miss
say this.
Von Miller.
And I know. And I'll say this too. And Bills, everybody's always talking about their offensive line. Every team in the league's got question marks about their offensive line. There are only a few, maybe a handful, that have fewer question marks than the Bills. Maybe Spencer, you can say that, but he's going to be what, a 2 or 3 year starter. The Jets got some serious question marks.
Serious problems, yeah.
Serious question marks.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hey, do I want to see Aaron Rodgers throw the ball 50, 60 times? I would probably say that's a good thing for you. Keep you in the game, right? But I think it got to be some of those quick releases. If this offensive line is
Well,
not
that
going to
was good.
hold up,
Right. That was going to be my next question
Yeah.
for you, Thurman, because you know that there are some question marks concerning the Jets' offensive line. Protecting Rodgers is going to be important. Maybe they put a tight end over there on Becton's side to help. Maybe they always have a back chipping, whatever the case might be. You also have quick game, but you can only use quick game so much. You can't
yeah.
use it the whole game
Right.
because then you got guys squatting,
Yeah.
and now you got a problem because somebody might jump a route. Now they're going 60 yards the other way for a touchdown. So,
and you better be careful of that too, because jumping the quick route, but also with the long ball too. I mean, we're getting Michael Hart and Jordan Poyer back there again.
well, right.
Yeah.
That's
That's a big- that's a
that
big
could
plus.
limit a lot of those deep balls.
Because
So
the Jets didn't see those two guys back there together last year.
Right.
Nope.
So
And
would
they
you,
didn't see Trey White last year.
would you guys say the offensive line that has a better game goes a long way to determining who wins this football game? Because the Jets can roll people on that pass rush group
Yes,
too.
they can. They can.
They got
Yeah.
they're 8 deep.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
a crew.
They do have a crew.
So
They do. So
does it come down to the better offensive line?
Absolutely. That's the point that I'm going. I
I got a question
it's
here.
going to
So
go down to the
one
to
of the things
offensive
about
line.
it, the Bills, I think the Bills' offensive line is better and maybe more proven
Yep.
as a group. It also comes down to the fact that the guy taking snaps. Now, Aaron Rodgers is very nifty in the pocket, and he's got a lot of sack. He's a Hall of Fame kind. He's got those abilities. But whether they have a guy running free or not is not a guarantee that you're going to get Josh on the ground. So
Right.
Josh widens the margin of
Widen the
error for the
margin.
5 guys up front of him
Yeah.
because, we were talking yesterday. I've seen Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator looking over there going, I got nothing. Because they call the not just a good defense, the perfect defense.
Yeah,
And
and he
it
still
turns
got
into
it
a
up.
touchdown against them. So whatever call you make, it may not be good enough. That's Josh. Now, you can make the same case about Aaron, but for different reasons. Aaron will just outthink you, check off, or get rid of the football, make something out of nothing. Josh will break in too when you got the perfect call on.
Yeah, and go for a long.
That's a
gainer.
hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
That's hard.
That's
yeah.
that means the Bills' offensive line's margin of error is much bigger, I think, than the Jets.
Yeah, I think you're probably correct about that. Yeah, with Josh but Aaron can still move around a little bit.
Yeah, you never
Not
see,
as much.
You don't see Aaron getting caught
No,
off guard.
no.
He knows where everything's happening.
Yeah, but I think another. And we've been talking offense like the entire time, but like for me, like what is it going to be now? How is it going to be any different now that Sean McDermott is calling the plays?
I was gonna ask you about that as
he's
well.
a head coach.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah, I think
That is a lot.
There's
And
a lot in this.
This is the first time he's been able, obviously, to do this with having Leslie Frazier come in here from the time that he's been here. But, now you have to reel in, okay, is it best I call a timeout here? What do I do in this situation? Oh, I'm the defensive coordinator, but
Yeah,
I'm
but
the
they-
head coach, too.
yeah, they got the staffs on top of
I think
that.
the staff is on top of that,
They
but
got
it'd be
management
interesting
guys.
to see how
they got game
his
management
game
people.
flows,
They
how
got
his
game-
game flows against their offense.
They got game
Playing
management
defense.
guys that do that. They're on that. So Sean can concentrate on what he's doing because then they'll have some, hey, Sean, think about a timeout here, that kind of They got guys on them with voices in the headset that'll tell them that. But you're right.
All right, but I'm not going to bring it up. But go ahead, keep going.
Right. So
That reminds me of one thing that
What?
you just said
What?
about bringing it all back, and they have guys that do this and do that.
right.
Huh?
Well, they all do. Every team
Okay.
does. It's not just the head coach over there going, hey, I got,
All right,
All right.
that's fine.
Okay.
Tickets can be purchased at billsfoundation.org for a trip for 2 to London from now until September 8th. This will benefit the Buffalo Bills Foundation. The travel package is provided by On Location and includes airfare, hotel, game tickets, and other amazing experiences. Visit billsfoundation.org to purchase your chance to win. It's a pretty good deal over there for the Week 5 game against the Jaguars. The Bills' home game, in quotation marks. Home game,
Home game?
What do you think
against
about
the
that?
Jaguars.
The Jags are going to be over
Jaguars,
there. They're playing 2 games in a row over
two
there.
games in a row, right?
So
And-
their home field is Wembley. So that's where they play their home games.
The Bills' home field.
This is an away game for the Jags at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is a home game for the Bills.
We've been talking about this.
Just look at the look on Thurman's face.
We've been talking about this. The Jaguars are going to play a home game the week before
Yeah.
at Wembley.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be there that whole week and play.
Yeah.
They're going to be ready to get out of there, man.
He thinks the Jags
Especially
are
if
going to
they
be
lose that
like
first one.
Woo! Who are they playing, though?
I don't know. Good question.
the week before.
Yeah,
I'll look-
Washington or
I'll look
somebody,
it up.
right?
I'll look it up.
Swines.
Yeah, probably somebody.
I got it. But yeah, that game is
They've got Falcons week before.
so
At
they're going to win
Wembley.
that
They're
game.
gonna win that game.
They're going to win that game.
Maybe
Yeah.
Should.
And then
they should. Okay.
so they're going to win that game, and they got the Bills coming in. But by that time, they're going to be so sick of being in a hotel.
They're going to be
practicing
sick of London
They're
food.
gonna
I
be sick
know
of
that.
London.
I was
Oh, man.
largely
Right.
unimpressed with that when I was over there.
yeah.
You don't go
How
to
are there
London.
any
You don't
overweight
go to
people in London? Their food is terrible.
That you're right. That's not French food,
It's
just that-
terrible.
right?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want
fish and chips is the only thing you can get.
That's what you can
that
do.
was
Yeah.
that
That's
was
the
the only good
only
meal
thing.
I had there the last time. I'm telling you, man. I asked for a hamburger. I got like a hockey puck. I'm telling you right now. I was sitting in that chair going, I have never missed Texas beef more than I do right now.
Right? Yeah. Fish and chips and salads, man. That's all you got to do over
Yeah.
there. And water, a lot of water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Well, what they
The
call
London Diet, brought to you by Thurman Thomas.
it. Try this next time you go over. Try it. Tell them to go.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh
Get
my
a pint
God.
of bitters. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to the pubs, be more focused on what you're drinking, not what you're
Right.
eating.
All good.
So Thurman, give us your thoughts before we're done here on Monday night. What are you expecting? Are you expecting a tight game throughout? Are you expecting a convincing Bills win, or
I think-
you're going to be chewing your fingernails a little bit?
I think with both offenses and both defenses and special teams, I'm expecting a close game.
Okay.
I'm going maybe like 17-13 Bills.
Oh, and low scoring
Low
too.
scoring,
Okay, so you
yeah.
think the defenses are going to
I think
have?
the defense is going to step up. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I think there's some questions. Obviously, we talked about it with the offensive line. So, yeah, I'm going low scoring football game.
Okay.
17-13 Bills, man.
Because I think
think
there's a
it's-
lot of people, on the fringes,
Yeah.
the casual fans are like, "Ooh, Allen Rodgers, we might have a shootout here."
right?
Yeah, I
He's
think
saying
so.
he's under 35 points.
No, I think it's going to be like a 6-point game, but it's going to be high. I think it's going to be like
Ooh, you're thinking
20.
high.
I think it's going to be like 33, 38, something like that.
Wow.
I think both teams are going to get in the
I'm kind of
30s.
So
somewhere.
we're going to be last in the defensive ranks across the board after the first
See,
season.
I think I'm
Yeah,
somewhere.
and I'll say this too. I don't anticipate. It's hard because you can't. You take the turnovers and the penalties out of it, and I just think it's going to be that kind of. I think both these teams have too much offense, and the league is already tilted on the offensive side that they're not
Big
going to
time.
come out and surprise them with a little bit, couple of explosive plays on one for each team, maybe two, and 2 of the 3 explosive plays score. That kind of thing.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, high 20s to
I'm
low
right in between
30s.
both of you guys.
I think it's going to be,
it's
yeah.
24-23 Bills.
No, I think it's going to be high 20s to mid 30s. Wow. Both teams.
Really?
Both teams.
Well, I'm
yeah.
not going over.
I don't know if the Jets-
If I'm going to move mine up, I'm going to go 26-20.
All right, so he's
I
up
think
from
it's going-
17-13.
I saw this team walk
He's
into.
going to
changed
30.
quick.
He's going to 38. So
Like, damn,
I saw
Steve.
this Bills team walk into L.A. a year ago and hang 31 on the world champions.
That's
Now,
a
certainly they
much
were a
different
crew.
defense.
They were a much different crew.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald was still playing, and they were healthy. And there was a lot of pressure on this offense, and they had a first-time offensive coordinator.
and the Rams didn't make the playoffs that
The
year.
Bills are a better offense today than they were then. Jet defense is better than the Rams offense was on that day as well. I just think both these clubs are going to hang some points up just because of the newness of the year and the unknowns the defense is struggling to prepare for.
Well,
I am
I'm gonna I'm
fascinated.
going to tell you what I've been telling people all training camp long is that I know, like, if you want to have an MVP of this game, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers or Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I'm going for James Cook. I've
You're-
been saying it. I've
wait
been
a second.
saying. I've
You're
been.
picking the running back?
I've been saying it since day one. Since
I am
since
sh-
we
I
since
am
we got
shocked.
since we
Shocked.
got rid of Singletary. I've
Well,
been
not
saying
that
it
shocked.
since day one. James Cook is going to have an outstanding year.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. The
Look,
kid is ready to play.
I am with you on that, Thurm, because I said it on
He'll be
our
playing-
weekly podcast, Bills by the Numbers. The most improved position on this roster is the running back
The
position.
running back position.
Cook, Harris, Murray.
Yeah.
Miles better than what they had there last year.
Absolutely. And those are big guys that, hey, if you need that 31, you don't have to give it to Josh all the time.
Quickly, because we're up against the break, did you see enough of James Cook in pass protection? Because I think he really proved himself in pass pro in camp and in the preseason this year. Just your thoughts on that.
That's where all the Texans been coming in through.
Oh,
You gotta put your nose in there, baby. You got to put your nose in there and let them know. And let them know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's
you may
worked
be-
on it.
And I'll say this too. Think about it. If you'd had a brother on the other side of the field wanting to play well, yeah. James
Well,
Cook's
and
gonna-
there-
I think both those guys want to
Hey,
show
hey,
up in
hey!
this game.
There's a revenge
They
element
really
here.
want to show up.
Because let's not forget, Week 10, Bills Vikings last year. Dalvin Cook was the one with the 62-yarder down the sideline. You best believe James wants to outperform his brother on national television.
Yeah. So I think there's
Yeah,
something
see
in
what
there.
you're missing, Vikings.
You may be
That's
right.
what it's going to be. See what you're missing.
I am shocked that you picked a running back.
Thurman, good to see you. Glad
not
you're
that
back with
shocked.
us.
I appreciate it.
We look forward to catching up with you each and every week.